Hi everybody, it's BDevine here, and I just wanted to thank you guys for being here, by the way. I just wanted to talk with you guys about this book by Edgar Cayce, and it is on the auras. And I found it to be a very, very quick and simple guide towards the different colours that are in the auras. And Edgar Cayce said that he always saw people in colour, and that's often the way with myself as well. I can see colour around people, and you know, that is how I see what may be going on with someone in their life also. And also when you're doing a lot of healing work, as I do myself, you start to notice where there's dullness in the body, where there's issues in the body, and what they can be relating to. So Edgar Cayce also saw everybody in colours, and he recognised by accident kind of what they meant, just because of things that happened to people that he could see and people that he worked with. And so he wrote this little book. It's kind of like a tiny little essay. I just wanted to go through these colours that he's mentioned in this book. And there's only a few. And how they relate to the different areas of our life. And of course, they work with the chakras as well. So sometimes you might see the colour red, for example, all around a person, and their root chakra is really, really open, and it's showing you the most red, which means there's something going on in their body. There's something going on. Maybe they're angry about something, or they're nervous about something, but it's really or sexually attracted to something, or sexually being pulled towards someone or something as well. So anyway, I will just go through what he says here, like in this particular book, and I don't want to read every single word step by step by step, but he is talking about the brightness of the colour as well, also pertaining to what may be going on in the body. So, meaning of red in someone's aura, it indicates force, vigour and energy. Its interpretation depends on the shade, as with all colours, upon the relationship of other colours as well. So dark red indicates a high temper, and it is a symbol of nervous turmoil. So the nervous system is indicated with red around the body. A person with a dark red in their aura may not be weak outwardly, but they're suffering in some way, and it's reflected in the nervous system as well. Such a person is apt to be domineering and quick to act. So sometimes you see people that are very, very always doing things like almost OCD. It may be that they've got this extra red in the aura stemming from the base or the root chakra being way too open. They need a balance and they need an alignment. They need to work out what the heck's wrong with them as well. So really, really red scarlet indicates an overdose of being egotistical. Pink, you know, going to pink or coral colours is a little bit of immaturity there. It's usually seen in younger people, like adolescents. So, but if it shows up in the area of someone who's grown up, it indicates delayed adolescence, a childish concern with the self, or always going backwards in time and always focusing on something that you did when you were 15 and you never got to do now in your life. So in all cases of red, there's a tendency to nervous troubles. So let's focus on red being, you know, perhaps nervous troubles. I feel it's a more sexual troubles as well. You know, longing for someone that you don't have, longing for a life you don't have, which is possibly why you get this adolescence coming up. But it's also the colour of the planet Mars, so it's directly in line with Mars energy, and it relates to the note of Do, the first note in the musical scale. And in early Christianity, it signified suffering and death of Christ with red blood, and was the colour of war, strife and sacrifice. So this strife, this word is strife, maybe you are in trouble if you're getting a lot of red. You may be angry, not knowing why, and so these need to be balanced out. The second colour is orange, and we know that that relates to our sacral chakra or our navel chakra, and it's the colour of the sun, so we're using the sun's energy. It's vital and a good colour if you see it around someone's aura, indicating thoughtfulness and consideration of others. Again, however, it's a matter of what shade. Gold and orange is vital and indicates self-control, whereas a brown orange shows a lack of ambition and who cares attitude. Such people may be repressed, but they are, or lazy as well. And people with orange in their auras are subject to kidney trouble. See how it sits around the navel area, goes right around the back. You know, and if there's too much orange, again, there's not the balance happening within the chakras as well. In the early church, orange signified glory, virtue, and the fruits of the earth, and all of these being connected naturally with the sun. In the musical scale, the note re corresponds to orange. So when you're working with your chakras and you want to do some chanting, do, do, you want to work with that for your base chakras, re, re, corresponding to the orange. So yellow, so we're moving up. It seems like we're moving up the chakras, but these, we're of course talking about the auras around you. Yellow is a second primary color. When it is golden yellow, it indicates health and well-being. Okay, such people take good care of themselves, don't worry, and learn easily. Good mentally, is being good naturally is a natural to them. They're happy, friendly, and helpful. If the yellow is darker, they are timid. If they are redheads, they are apt to have an inferiority complex. I don't know how he gets these things, but this is what he's saying, and I agree with a lot of this. They are apt often to be indecisive and weak in will, inclined to let others lead them. So too much yellow in the aura, even though it usually indicates a happy-go-lucky person, sometimes they can be a little bit too inferior, like have an inferiority complex. Maybe it's not noticeable to everybody either. In the musical scale, the note mi corresponds to yellow, and Mercury is the planet of this color. Okay, so we got green, so we're working in the heart chakra area. Sometimes you can see this area is very, very open in people that are creative. So let's have a look. And healing as well, obviously. Pure emerald green, particularly if it has a dash of blue, is the color of healing. It's helpful, strong, and friendly. It's the color of doctors and nurses, who invariably have a lot of it in their auras. Now, when we did the aura, see the aura, a lot of people could see the green and the blue in my hands, because in our hands we have got the chakras, the healing chakras. Okay, however, it's seldom a dominating color, usually being overshadowed by one of its neighbors. As it tends towards blue, it's more helpful and trustworthy. As it tends towards yellow, it starts to become a bit more weakened. A lemon green with a lot of yellow is deceitful. As a rule, the deep healing green is seen in small amounts, but it is good to have a little of it in your aura. Saturn is the planet of this color, and Fa is its musical note. In the early church, it symbolized youthfulness and the fertility of nature, taking this quite naturally from the sight of the fields in spring. Okay, so that beautiful green color, and opening up the heart chakra with your healing and all of those kinds of things. Some people are very green all over, and I feel that is creative power also, or they're just doing too much for everybody else and needing to suck it all back in and give some love back to the self. Okay, then we have blue, which would be representing the throat chakra as well. And some people have this color mostly around the top of their head. So blue has been the color of spirit, the symbol of contemplation, prayer, and heavens. The sky is blue because gas molecules in the air cause light rays from the sun to be scattered. This is the scientific explanation, but as he mentioned before, blue is said to be the true color of the sun, and it is also the color of the planet Jupiter, which is the ruler of great thoughts and high-mindedness. Almost any kind of blue is good, but the deepest shades are the best. Pale blue indicates little depth but a struggle toward maturity. The person may not be talented, but he tries. He will have many heartaches and many headaches, but he will keep going in the right direction. The middle blue or aqua belongs to a person who will work harder and get more done than the fellow with light blue, though there may be little difference between them in talent. It's just that the one keeps on working and working and working. Those with dark or deep blue have found their work and are immersed in it. They are apt to be moody and are almost always unusual persons, but they have a mission and they steadfastly go about fulfilling it. They are spiritual-minded for the most part, and their life is usually dedicated to an unselfish cause such as science, art, or social service. Seen many sisters of mercy with dark blue and many writers and singers also. See, working with the creation and your throat chakra. You don't want it to be overpowering. We need a balance of rainbow colours around our aura. Okay, so the last ones I think are Indigo and Violet. Yep. And they are sin seekers of all types. So we're going up into the higher chakras. They get settled in their careers. These colours usually settle back into deeper blue. Venus is the planet of indigo and La is its musical note. The moon is the planet of violet and T is its musical note. In the early church, indigo and violet meant humiliation and sorrow. That was in the early times. The perfect colour, of course, is white, and this is what we are all striving for. If our souls were in perfect balance, then all our colour vibrations would blend and we would have an aura of pure white. Christ had this aura, and it is shown in many paintings of him, particularly those which depict him after resurrection. You recall that he said at the tomb, "Touch me not, for I am newly risen." He meant that as a warning, I think, for the vibrations of his being must at that time have been so powerful that anyone putting a hand on him would have been killed, shocked as if by a live wire. That's how bright he believed he would be. Colour is light, and light is the manifestation of creation. Without light there would be no life and no existence. Light, in fact, is the primary witness of creation, and around us there are colours which we cannot see, just as there are sounds we cannot hear and thoughts we cannot apprehend. Our world of comprehension is very small. We can only see the few colours between red and violet, because our eyes just let us see that. Beyond red on one side and violet on the other are unguessed numbers of colours, and I know this to be true, especially when you are visiting the heavens and doing a meditation on the heavens. There are unexplainable colours. Some of them are so bright and wonderful, no doubt we would be stricken blind if by chance we'd see them. Remember, this is Edgar Cayce's book, okay? A long time ago this was written. Okay. An aura is an effect, not a cause. Every atom, every molecule, every group of atoms and molecules, however simple or complex, however large or small, tells the story of itself, its pattern, its purpose, through the vibrations which emanate from it. Colours are the perceptions of these vibrations to the human eye. As the souls of individuals travel through the realms of being, they shift and change their patterns as they use or abuse the opportunities presented to them. Thus, at any time in any world, a soul will give off through vibrations the story of itself and the condition in which it now exists. If another consciousness can apprehend these vibrations and understand them, it will know the state of its fellow being, the plight he is in, or the progress he has made. So when I see an aura, I see the man as he is, though the details are missing. I believe the details are there, but they are missing from my perception and understanding. By experience, I've learned to tell a good deal from the intensity of the colours, their distribution, and the positions they occupy. The aura emanates from the whole body, but usually it is most heavy and most easily seen around the shoulders and head, probably because of many glandular and nervous centres located in those parts of the bodies. The dark shades generally denote more application, more willpower, more spirit. But the lighter shades and the pastels blend and shift more rapidly as the temperament expresses itself. The mind, builder of the soul, is the essential governing factor in the aura. But food, environment, and other conditions have their effect. Sometimes outside forces bring about a change. I once met a man in whose aura I saw a shaft of light coming downward over his left shoulder. In it there was some white, a great deal of green, and a great deal of red with blue mixed in it. I read this as a sign that the man was receiving information inspirationally, which he was using for constructive purposes. I wondered if he was a writer, for it struck me that this would be a proper aura for such work. I asked him, and he told me that although he had been a writer, he was now engaged in lecturing and teaching, still giving information and help to others. Okay, so there you go. That is how he believes and he looks at things. He's gone on about some different people that he knew, like a nurse, and obviously there was a lot of green, a student, and the aura was changing. So your aura can change as you change and as you grow and what you're doing in your business and how healthy you are on the inside. So again, these are the colors. Red, the musical note is Do, planet is Mars, the interpretation is force, vigor, and energy. The affliction to this is nervousness and egotism. Then you've got the color orange. Ray is the musical note, the planet is the sun. Interpretation is thoughtfulness, consideration, and the affliction that this might bring, or so if you see too much orange, it's laziness and repression. Yellow is me, planet is Mercury. Interpretation, health, well-being, and friendliness. The affliction is timidity, weakness of will. The green is far, the planet is Saturn. Interpretation is healing and helpful, and if it's mixed with yellow, the affliction is deceit. Blue is soul, planet is Jupiter, and the interpretation is spiritual, artistic, and selfless, and the affliction of this is struggle and melancholy. The color indigo is La in the musical note, the planet is Venus. The interpretation is seeking religiousness or seeking spirituality. The affliction is heart and stomach trouble if there's too much indigo. And violet, the musical note is T. The planet is Moon. Interpretation is seeking religious or spirituality pursuits. And again, the affliction is heart and stomach trouble. So that is why it's so important that your chakras are nice and clear, that you are feeling clear within yourself, that you are doing your breath and healing work, and that you are concentrating on clearing your aura all the time. Clearing, and you're asking, you're walking out in the sunshine, you're asking for the aura to be cleansed, cleared, and recharged. You are doing repair work on your aura where words and people's thoughts and people's nastiness and things have attacked your auric sphere, because your auric sphere is very, very large, and sometimes when you are walking down a shopping center, for example, or walking down the mall, you are picking up from all of these other people because your auric field is hitting their auric field, and sometimes you feel like you're bombarded. So it's very, very practical to be always clearing this area and asking for shielding around your aura. But don't shield yourself off too much, because then you can block your actual abilities because you're trying to shield and filter and keep yourself protected, so you're missing out on vital information as well. So this is a book by Edgar Cayce on auras. It's just a very, very short little book. We've basically rummaged through the whole thing. I hope that it's helpful, and I do always go back to this. I often feel that Edgar Cayce had something going on. There's plenty of other things that I can teach you. Please look out for my new ebook, which will be on auras, and it will have some different advice for you and some different ways that you can measure your aura, work with your aura, work with partners, and getting to know your aura and all those sort of things. So I'm writing that as we speak about the auras. And I hope that this was, as I said, I hope it was a little bit helpful to you people that are continually asking me about the aura colors. And even though you can find out on Google for yourself, sometimes it's nice to have someone just read and explain these things as they're going through. So I hope that that was helpful. And I thank you all very much for listening. And until the next video, thank you so much for subscribing, and goodbye for now. Bye everyone.